women's 1500. We'll also see the men's 100 open up. But it really is that women's 100-meter final where we'll probably see something special from Sha'Carri Richardson, because that's what she seems to produce over and over and over again. Let's dig in, though, I want to, on some of these semis, if we could.
The day of the semis. That's what they call it. The great day of semis. You got women's, start the women's 15. Women's 15 semis. Let's bring that one up. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Do you think anything chaos can happen here in this women's 15 semi?
Of course. And the fact that things were pretty chalky today leads me to believe that we're going to see some upsets tomorrow. So top 5 in each semi plus the next 2 fastest. I mean, Ellie Purrier St. Pierre looked really good as per usual. I think there was not any shocking results. I thought Jenny Simpson looked solid there. She ran 4:10, which coincidentally was the time of her first 1500 of the year. She's only run 3 now, but I think every race that she runs, she gets another one under her belt. What do you think about these?
Well, the death heat, the death heat is heat 2, because heat 2 has Danny Jones, who can kick, El Perrier St. Pierre, great new name for the record, Shannon Osika, who's 4.0, and Sinclair Johnson, who we know can, when she's all put together, she can put down a good mark, which she did in 2019. So that's 4 athletes that are like legitimate. Mm-hmm. So to get into that top 5, I feel like it's going to be very hard to get the big Q. And if it's slow, then it gets even harder, right? If the first heat goes out fast and second heat's like chilling, that's the death heat in my mind, is heat 2 of the women's 1500.
I mean, heat 1's pretty tough too. Hiltz, Simpson, McGee, McLean.
Come on, you can't do that though. You can't put Simpson as, like, she's running 408, 406. Like, the people who have been running well this year, you know.
Sure. Okay. It did break down along those lines. I agree with you. The men's 800 semis. So you have Murphy, Jewett, Hoppel, Alvarado in one heat. And then in the second heat, you have Sawinski, Windle, Miller, Kidder, Brazier, Rhodes, Dolan, and Harris. I think heat 2 is the, what do we call these? The heat of death?
Heat of death. Heat 2? Death heat. Yeah, heat 2. Yeah. I mean, having Brazier, Harris, and Miller all in the same heat, and Kidder, who ran well, surprisingly well, and Sawinski, who was right up there with it. I think that's going to be the faster heat if it goes out honest. So, yeah, definitely death heat is heat 2. I don't see anything crazy happening, though. I mean, especially because they used to do crazy qualifying where they would just do top 4 and top 4, which I never understood. But luckily, they're not doing that here. It's top 3 and then next 2 fastest times. But I remember in 2016, it was just top 4, which made no sense. But top 3 with 2 fastest on time. Yeah, heat 2 is a death heat.
On the topic of the men's 800, Ezra in the chat says, did Finley McClear from Miami of Ohio run in the 800? I thought he'd get second at NCAA, so I'd assume he'd run.
Hopefully, he's trolling me. Or if he's not, then God bless you. He
represents
I guess
Great Britain. It's funny. It's funny that people keep.
I'm taking all my appreciation of Finley McClear and I'm putting it into Shane Strike. That's what I'm doing.
Good.
Again, this is the Shane Strike podcast until he goes home devastated or goes home victorious. Who knows?
Women's 800. Women's 400, excuse me. Women's 800 has not happened yet. Top 3 plus the next 2. So I'll just read the names. Hastings, Francis, Stepter, Baines, Felix, Anderson, Ellis, Beard, and then Diggs. And then heat 2, Robinson, Bechtel, Whitney, Jonathan, Irby, Hayes, Manson, and Avini. Again,
I'll go heat 2 again.
To repeat what I said before, I think it's heat. I think it's heat 1 because Anderson, you talked about, I think is a bit of a wild card, and Ellis, Beard, and Felix are going to be solid, and Talitha Diggs is just coming off a runner-up finish at NCAAs. I think 1 is the harder heat.
It's true.
But 2 you got Whitney, Jonathan, Irby, and Hayes in the middle of it. Yeah. I mean, I think that probably will end up being the eight that I named right there, going to, or maybe I named 9. But that'll be the crux of it. And
All
then
right.
we have
Men's 4.
men's 4. So
Looking at it.
my pick was Norman, Cherry, and Randolph Ross. Randolph Ross is going to be in lane 4, so he's still got a decent lane. I don't feel as confident in him as I did before, but then I'm thinking, why am I reading that much into a first round? I should probably wait what he did at the NCAA championships a bit more than that. I think we'll see. Did Michael Norman read Michael Johnson's tweet? I think we'll see. If he goes out and rips a 43-8, then we'll say, hey, he was online last night. But I think you're going to see a fair amount of college kids get through. I think it's completely reasonable to see Godwin, Williams, Ross, and Stewart. I think the over under would almost be 4 college kids to the finals.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, you look at the first heat. The first heat has Ja'Cory Patterson, who's a college kid, Tyler Johnson, Godwin, Williams, Willie, and Dedmon. 6 of the 8 people are college kids. So we're going to get a lot of college kids into this final.
Yeah. Okay. And then the women's 100. That's the only thing that's left. So we've already done the predictions. I don't want to change too much based on what we saw today. As I said, I think you have to worry about that third spot, but I'm rolling still with Richardson and Oliver 1 and 2. Yeah, Felix is ready. One step at a time, one day at a time. Day 1, check. That's right. She was solid. Out there.
Do you think she wrote that caption or someone wrote that for her?
So I didn't know this was a thing, but people really stress out about Instagram captions. And people have told me before, they're like, I'm not good at Instagram captions. And I said, is that really something that you think about? And there's probably people out there that are paid to write really good Instagram captions. I don't do Instagram barely at all, so I don't know.
And there's 2 types of captions. There's the ones that Allison just did where it's like kind of stoic, short, sweet, with maybe a little bit of an emoji check mark. But then you have the pour out your heart 10,000 word essay about, the breakup you're going through with a watermelon, and it's just like, okay, it's watermelon. Let's fine. People take pictures of fruit and then talk about the time that they got in trouble with, the law. I don't know.
Listen, I don't know what you're talking about at all.